everybody, I hope you're doing well today. As mentioned in my Bath & Body Works Empties video, today I have my every other candle company candle empties video to share with you. This is mostly Homeworx, as you can see, but I do have a couple of Goose Creeks and a Yankee as well. These are my empties from July, August, and September. It has been a wonderfully scented last few months. You're gonna see a couple of sort of end of summer scents that I was burning in July, and then in August I moved into sort of a carnival theme, and then September has been all about apples. Let me know in the comments what you've been burning specifically related to these candle companies. Do you find yourself burning more Homeworx, more Yankee, more Goose Creek? I don't have any Kringles this month, but if they're one of your favorites, let me know in the comments below. As with all my empties videos, I will talk about the scent when it was burning, as well as the strength throw and the burn performance. So if you're interested in hearing about the non-Bath & Body Works candles that I've burned in the last 3 months, let's get started. I finished 2 boxes of Yankee Candle tea lights over the past couple of months. I finished a box of lavender and then clean cotton. I do love their tea lights. I do find they put off a decent amount of scent for, you know, a very small candle. I have a little candle holder that holds like 5 or 6, I think, and I like to light those when I'm taking a bath, and that's pretty much when I use these. Thus far, I found their tea lights to be the best on the market, so I will definitely continue to repurchase them. All right, I'm gonna start to the right and just move across. I finished this candle from Milk Barn Candles called Day at the Beach. This is a single wick soy candle that was given to me as a gift at Christmas. I don't tend to gravitate toward these single wick candles myself, but when I get one as a gift, I might as well burn it. The website is milkbarncandles.com, and these are made in Baltimore County, Maryland. The scent itself is called Day at the Beach, and it's a creamy pineapple scent. It made me think of like a pina colada. You definitely got this nice creamy sort of coconut milk base, but then you got pineapple, and it definitely made you think of a pina colada, and there was a little bit of a salty vibe. This is what it looks like. I think that just the container is super cute. It does look like an old milk container, and then it has this sort of wood lid here, and you see it's single wick. Surprisingly, it burned really well. The good thing about soy candles is that because the wax is quite soft, even if there is sort of collection of wax or it starts to tunnel, typically if the flame can get hot enough, that wax on the side will slide down and it will sort of correct itself, and it actually did do that in this case. The burn itself was good. It wasn't very strong. You know, I don't really personally expect much from soy candles in my home, but I could smell this at times. I would say the strength and throw was about a 4. I kept it in my master bathroom the whole time. I would come in and I could smell it. It was detectable, so I was pleasantly surprised. I'm definitely gonna try to do something with this like container, and I don't know what, but it's just too cute to recycle. I finished 2 Goose Creek 3 wicks. These were both in August. I finished their funnel cake scent. I wish they had notes on the bottom of their candles, but they don't. This one I actually purchased last year, I believe. Both of these were purchased last year. I think that they did bring back funnel cake. It definitely smells like the vendor wax oil funnel cake. You get a fried dough, you get a little bit of a powdered sugar. It smells like it's supposed to, so I was happy about that. As far as the burn, you can see there's actually quite a bit of wax left, you know, comparatively here. It just started to really smell quite smoky, and I couldn't finish it, and I wasn't going to waste my time. You can see that the burn was actually pretty good, and then we start to get this residue here. I was really careful not to over trim the wicks on this one, but also I was trying to prevent excess soot, so I tried to treat this like my Bath & Body Works candle, and for the most part that worked. Like I said, when it got to this part, it did start to struggle a little bit. I did have to cotton ball it twice, and then once it got to this point with this last burn, it did actually fully pull out, and it was just the scent wasn't there like it was at the beginning, so I decided to call it done. These types of scent tend to do that, like for any candle company, that, you know, because they're just sort of a lighter bakery type of scent, they can sort of start smelling sooty at the ends. The strength and throw was about a 6.5, so it was good. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised, and for me, I wouldn't repurchase the candle, but I would get this in again in wax melt form. And the second Goose Creek candle I finished is the Carnival Apple scent. Really like the color of the wax here. Again, this is one that I purchased last year. They do have this scent out with this label, but I think they've slightly changed the name. This smells like a caramel apple, sort of similar to Bath & Body Works Cider Lane, which is also sort of similar to Goose Creek's caramel applewood, but that caramel applewood is closer to Cider Lane. This isn't like Bath & Body Works caramel apple scent. It doesn't have the tart green apple, but you do get like this buttery, creamy, velvety caramel that isn't overly sweet. And then you get an apple. It's sort of just your straightforward caramel apple scent, which I like. I did enjoy the scent. The burn was sooty. You can kind of see down there how much soot has sort of collected at the rim. You know, there's quite a bit of soot in the wax. It's always a good indication of how much soot is actually producing. Even if the soot doesn't show up on the jar itself, you can see, you know, the discoloration of the wax there. So it was quite sooty, but the burn was good. It was much cleaner than funnel cake. The strength and throw was about a 7.5, so really good strength and throw. I just wish it wasn't so sooty. I think that's my number one complaint about Goose Creek candles, as that in many different forms they tend to just be sootier than like other candles that I've burned from other companies. So performance wise, strength and throw, great. Scent, great. Burn, no issues. I just wish there was less soot. Again, I would repurchase this scent, not in candle form, but in wax melt form. I love their caramel applewood scent. I tend to pick that up every year. If they were to bring out another caramel apple scent, I would definitely purchase that. I did finish one Yankee Candle in Cider House. I picked up several of their 3 wicks. These are a newer format for them. Their 3 wicks are 18 ounces. And they are smaller than like the Bath & Body Works and Goose Creek 3 wicks, but they are not as large as the Homeworx 3 wick and 4 wick candles. As far as the label here, I don't really prefer that. It's sort of a, I don't really know what to call this. Yeah, I just don't love it. The scent, I love. I was really excited to see this scent in 3 wick because it did come out last year and I loved it. I had purchased the candle and I didn't get much from it, but the melt cup was quite strong. The notes are Fuji apple, golden honey, cinnamon bark, clove, nutmeg, cedar wood, and vanilla. And the scent is just fabulous. It is this slightly like syrupy, sweet, lightly spiced, sort of stewed apple scent. It is just wonderful. You do get a little bit of an essence of it being in like in a barrel, and it's just a fantastic scent. Like, I do love Yankee Candle scents, and if y'all been watching my channel for any length of time, you'll probably know that their candles just don't perform well in my home. They're large jars, they're medium jars, they're 2 wick tumblers. Like, I've tried a range of forms and I just don't get the best performance. So I was really excited to try this one because I was like, okay, fingers crossed, this is gonna be the form that I can actually smell. You can see the label here. And you can see what the candle looks like. Unfortunately, I didn't get much of a strength and throw from this. I started out originally where I burn my Bath & Body Works candles. Couldn't smell it. I then moved to master bedroom, which is where I burn most of my Homeworx candles. Couldn't smell it. Then I moved it to my office, which is where I burn maybe some of my slightly lighter Bath & Body Works or Homeworx or other candle companies. Couldn't smell it. So then I moved it to my master bathroom. Then I moved it to a small bathroom and left it in there, and I could smell it at times. I would say the max strength and throw I got was maybe a 4. It just didn't get, it didn't carry, it didn't go anywhere. Like, I could only smell it when I was standing right over the candle. I would say for the most part, it was maybe like a 1.5. I mean, the very last burn, I accidentally left it burning all night because I forgot that it was going. That's how undetectable it was. So yeah, disappointment. I just can't report that this has done well for me in my home. Not saying it won't do well in yours. And I know this scent can be strong because the melt cup in this scent is a powerhouse. As far as the burn, you can see there's quite a bit of residue. I just think that this is too large for 3 wicks. This surface area is too large, and it definitely wanted to tunnel and struggle, and you can see the wax there on the side. It didn't want to fully pull out at times. I did cotton ball it once, hoping that would help and maybe get it hotter, and the wax pull wasn't very deep because I think this is just too wide. You know, all these candle companies are trying to do 3 wicks, and I have to say Bath & Body Works has perfected it, and it's just not, it's not easily replicated. There is a science behind it. But anyway, love this scent, would absolutely repurchase this scent. I really wish they would bring this scent out in the wax melts. The wax melts I have great luck with from Yankee. I just don't have luck with the candles, and unfortunately this one didn't do well for me. Let me know if you tried their 3 wicks, if you tried any of the other ones, if they've done better for you, or let me know. Would love to hear your thoughts. Moving on into Homeworx, I finished sugared beignets. This came out last year in this particular packaging, but it did return this year. This one is French pastry, powdered sugar, spun sugar, vanilla, and cinnamon. And the scent itself is really lovely. You definitely get a fried dough with a sprinkling of powdered sugar. It smells like a beignet for sure. It smells like a fried donut, a fried pastry, a fried yummy deliciousness. I'm doing like low carb right now, so I really would love to have one of these in real life. And the scent itself is great. Sort of similar to hot cider donut in that they're in the same family, that have that fried dough, but this one doesn't have any apple and the spice blend is different. It's good if you like these kind of scents. Now I did go ahead and clean out the wax here because I'm going to clean this out the rest of the way and probably repurpose this for something because the glass is just so beautiful. I love the hobnail. As you can see, this was very sooty. It was very sooty, and actually I had wiped this down once already, but it was just a sooty, fast burning candle. It was sort of similar to Bath & Body Works fast burning candles. I had to keep an eye on it. I only let it burn about maybe 2.5 hours. I kept the wicks trimmed. Just keep your eye on this one. It was fast and sooty and hot. The strength and throw was about a 7, so very happy with it, especially for this type of sort of fried bakery scent. They can be a bit lighter, but this one, it was great. 7, maybe even a 7.5. I'm really happy with it. There was really hardly any wax left by the time the last burn happened, and I just sort of popped the wick clips out because, like I said, I'm going to repurchase this one. So really my only issue with this one is how sooty it was. Scent was great, strength and throw was great, and the burn was great, except it was just really sooty. The next Homeworx I finished is banana maple pancakes. Look at that deliciousness. Oh my gosh, I really want carbs so badly right now. I would love to have that right now in front of me. The notes are fluffy pancakes, mashed bananas, melted butter, and maple drizzle. This scent is available on Ulta now. The scent, amazing. You actually get the banana, and it's not a Laffy Taffy candy banana. This one is a very authentic banana. It literally smells like fresh smashed bananas. It's really delicious. Don't be afraid of the maple. The maple isn't super dominant. It's not an overly sweet candle. It's not like the maple that Bath & Body Works uses where it's like really sweet. The maple adds a nice sort of syrupy sweetness, but it doesn't overpower, and it's just delicious. The scent is wonderful. I love it. The issue is it's not very strong. Unfortunately, I would love this scent to like fill my entire house or even my master bedroom, which is where I burn all of these candles. I would say overall it was about a 4.5, 5. So, you know, a little less than medium. I could smell it, but it was lighter and I had to search for it in the air. The burn was a little bit problematic on this one. You can see all the residue here, and I think this is what led to the strength and throw issues. And this was a very slow, low burner. I didn't trim the wicks, or if I did, it was just very minimally, I think at the very beginning, but then I stopped trimming the wicks because it just didn't need it. But you can see there's residue on the sides here, and that really only happens when the burn isn't hot enough and strong enough. Sugar beignets was like one end of the spectrum, and this is on the other. I never cotton balled it. This one I would let burn for longer periods of time to get a full pull. I would let it burn for probably 5-6 hours compared to like sugar beignets where it was like 2.5 hours. But you can see on that last burn, it didn't fully pull out. It is a fantastic scent. Really love the scent. The authenticity of the scent is amazing. I just wish it was stronger. The scent itself is so good that I would probably pick up one more and maybe just move it into a little bit of a smaller room so I could smell it a bit better. The next Homeworx candle I finished is Pomegranate Lychee, and this is from last year as well. I burned this in July. The notes are pomegranate, mango, cassis, dried apricot, and man, oh man, this scent is amazing. I really hope that this comes back next year. It is fantastic. It's just wonderful. I love these types of fruity scents when you have that contrast of the tartness and the sweetness. It's juicy, but it's not overly sweet. It's not like over-ripened fruit. It's this perfect blend of that tart but juicy red pomegranate. You have the sweetness from the mango, and there's a juicy tart amazingness about it. I mean, it's just wonderful. I love it. The strength and throw was phenomenal on this one. This was about an 8.5. It left my master bedroom, filled like the whole back part of the house. It was wonderful. It looks a bit messy here. The burn was a bit slower on this one, and you can see there's some wax here on the side. I did not trim the wicks on this one. In fact, for most of my Homeworx candles, except for Sugar Beignet, I don't trim the wicks. If there's a little tiny mushroom top, I'll get that off. But just be really careful not to over trim the wicks. That is really what I have found to be extremely helpful as far as getting good burns. Even though it looks messy, it was fine. Like it pulled out. It had a great strength and throw, and it burned itself out. I never had to cotton ball it. So yeah, I absolutely love this scent, and I really hope, fingers crossed, it comes back next year. The next candle I finished is Country Apple Butter. Again, the hobnail. It looks kind of black in this lighting, but it's actually like a really, really dark brown. You can kind of see it there. The notes are caramel apple, sweet vanilla, and toasted nut. This particular one was from 2018, but this candle is back now on QVC unless it's sold out in a 2-pack. Despite the name, this doesn't actually smell like apple butter to me. It smells like a slightly buttery caramel apple scent with a nice amount of nuttiness. So it kind of makes me think of a caramel apple loaded with like nuts that has been like overdone in nuts. And you definitely get this nuttiness. You get a little bit of a butteriness, and it's really good. The apple, I think, takes a backseat actually to the sort of nutty caramel, and it's a really nice scent. Perfect for September. I love it. The burn for me was actually pretty good. I had heard, if I remember correctly, this version had some issues, but mine was actually really clean. Again, the key that I found that works for me is I don't trim the wicks at all, basically, for these candles. I mean, there are some that are gonna need trimming, but for the most part, you don't need to trim. You definitely don't need to trim before your first burn, and then you need to sort of let the candle talk to you. If you go to light the candle and the wicks look like this, you don't need to trim it. You just light it and go. If the wicks are even a little bit longer than this, you don't need to trim. Don't over trim and like create a problem. So I did let this one burn for probably 6+ hours. The strength and throw was probably about a 5.5, maybe a 6 at times. I would have liked it to be stronger, but it was still adequate. And overall, I really enjoyed it. I did pick up a couple more of these. Glad to see it back. I think it's a really nice, unique variation of a caramel apple scent. The next candle I finished is Country Road. This was in that trio of scents with mulled wine and pine needles, which was on QVC this year. The notes are gala apple, clove leaf, orange slices, and tonka bean. And I don't know that I agree with the name of this candle. I don't think it smells outdoorsy at all. It doesn't make me think of being outside. It doesn't make me think of anything earthy or rustic. This is a spice heavy candle. I get a ton of clove and cinnamon. Those two notes specifically really dominate this candle. I didn't get much apple when it was burning. It actually reminded me of Bath and Body Works. Is it cinnamon and clove buds? And also the Spice candle, which was a Harry Slatkin original. When I burned this in August, I was sort of like, wow, there's a lot more spice in this than I thought. On cold sniff, I pulled the spice, but I was, you know, it was sort of balanced with some other notes. But burning, I was like, wow, this is a spicy candle. I like spicy scents, but I would have preferred it closer to winter because I tend to get spicier as the fall season progresses, and I do more spicier scents closer to like winter. I've heard a lot of people say it smells like, you know, driving down a dirt road, and I just didn't get that personally. I got a lot of spice, a lot of clove and cinnamon, and there was a little bit of the apple that sort of sweetened it a bit. It wasn't like overpowering spice, but it was spicy. So if you don't like clove or cinnamon or sort of spicy candles, then this one might be a bit much for you. It was a good scent. I just don't think it lived up to the name and sort of what I had thought it might smell like, but it was still a good scent. This collection had the sort of gold wood grain lids. The burn itself was fine. I did not over trim or trim the wicks at all. You can see there's a little bit of residue there, but for the most part, it was fine. It had a great strength and throw. I would say it was about an 8, maybe even 8.5. It was a powerhouse. Like, it definitely filled the space. It was a lot of spice, and it really performed well. It, you know, it looks a little, it burned itself out. I didn't have to cotton ball it, no issues. Again, I don't want to say that's every candle, but what I found is with these candles, you know, just let it burn. If there's a little bit of wax that collects, it will correct itself. I didn't have to cotton ball it, and just don't trim or over trim your wicks. That really is key. Overall, I enjoyed this candle. I just wish I would have saved it for closer to winter. I think I would have enjoyed it more because it is a lot of spice. The next one I finished is Hot Cider Donut. Look at those delicious looking donuts. I am so wanting a donut right now. The notes are harvest apple, cinnamon sugar, vanilla bean, and spiced apple. And I was really happy to see this one returned. This should still be available on Ulta right now. This is a scent that's similar to sugar beignets in that you get that fried, delicious bakery donut. But this, you do get a little bit of apple. You get that cinnamon sugar, and it's absolutely delicious. I love this scent. The strength and throw is really good. It's about a 7, 7.5 for me. The burn was fine. Again, you see a little bit of residue down there, but this one is just another one that I just let burn. Didn't trim the wicks, and it was great. It performed well. It burned itself out. I didn't have to cotton ball it. And it's just delicious and yummy scent. For me, this is perfect kind of scent for August. I love like fried bakery, which is a little hint of spice. And I love the fact that with Ulta, you can get one candle. You don't have to get two. So if you've never tried a scent, then you can just get one candle and try it. And if you want more, you can go back and get more. So I do love that. And I think a lot of these are now also in Ulta stores. So if you wanted to smell it in person, you'd be able to. But really, really love this one. It's delicious. The next one I finished is Vanilla Bean Macaron, and it has the macarons all the way around. The notes are vanilla bean, whipped vanilla, brown sugar, and amber. This one is from 2019, but it is also available now on Ulta. Funny story, I ended up purchasing a new one this year from Ulta, and then I found this one in my collection from last year, which I hadn't burned. So yeah, that happens sometimes when you have a lot of candles, I guess. This is a nice vanilla bakery scent. Now, for me, this isn't wow me. I'm just not personally a fan of just vanilla scents or vanilla bakery scents. I know some people really love them, and if you do, you'll love this one because it was really delicious. This had a light bakery aspect and a really nice creamy vanilla bean. Definitely a very authentic, real vanilla bean kind of scent. And it was nice. It's just not my personal favorite type of scent. Also, vanilla scents tend to be lighter from any candle company across the board. This one was about probably a 4.5, 5 for me. So I was actually surprised it was as strong as it was. The burn was really good. A little bit sooty, but not bad. This one was more of a medium, fast burner. I think I did trim the wicks just a little bit at first, and then I didn't have to anymore. Just let it burn, and you can see it did really well for me. Not a repurchase for me personally, but if you like vanilla bean and vanilla bakery kind of candles, I think you'd really like this one. The next one I finished is Orchard Apples, my favorite, my love. I love this scent. This is from 2 years ago. The notes are juicy apple, applewood, vetiver grass, succulent cantaloupe, and ripened peach. This was a top scent for me in 2018. It is just fantastic. To me, this is like the ultimate summer to fall transitional scent. You get the apple, but the melon notes just give it a little bit still of a summery vibe. So it's not like straight Macintosh apple. You do get that crisp, wonderful apple, but that contrast of the sort of juicy, sweet melon with the crisp apple and that slight sort of green vibe that I get from this, it's just fantastic. Hopefully this will come back. This was one of the 3 wicks, and this one is super strong. I would say an 8.5. Wonderful strength and throw, really fantastic burn. You can see it burns all the way down to those big luxurious wick clips. Not very much soot. I did have to trim the wicks on this one because it is more of a faster burner. And yeah, love this one so much. Hope it comes back. The next one I finished is Spun Vanilla Sugar, and the notes are spun sugar, whipped cream, sugared lemon, and vanilla. And this smelled like a caramel vanilla scent or vanilla caramel scent. I actually did get like a very sort of smooth caramel note that was sort of interlaced with the sugar and the vanilla, and it was a pleasant, sweet scent that wasn't overpowering. Again, I don't gravitate or love like just vanilla scents, so it wasn't my personal favorite, but I could definitely see if you like a slight caramel kind of vanilla scent that you would like this one. The burn was fantastic. The strength and throat was about a 6, 6.5. A little bit sooty. I did trim just a little mushroom tops off of this one. This was sort of a medium fast burner, which is why there was a bit of soot. And yeah, no issues with the burn. It was very, very good. And again, if you like this kind of scent, I think you'd like it. It's just not for me personally. I finished the Farmstand Pineapple scent. This was from 2018, and this is one that I burned in July. The notes are sun-ripened pineapple, coconut cream, vanilla, and crystallized sugar. And this is just a really nice pineapple scent. There is a creaminess. It doesn't go like full pina colada, but you do get a nice amount of that creamy, like coconut, sort of milky cream vibe with a nice amount of that like juicy, delicious pineapple. It doesn't make me think of just a piece of pineapple that you've just cut. There is something that makes me think of a drink. It's sort of, the pineapple is blended in with this coconut cream. Not, again, pina colada, because I think pina coladas have a lot more of that creaminess, but you know, sort of going down that route. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it. This is one of the 3 wicks. This one had a faster burn. It was a little bit sooty, but not horrible. Burned itself out, no issues. I did keep the wicks trimmed on this one, just so you can actually see at the last burn, I had this tiny little mushroom top. I would just clip that off and then keep the wick a decent length. But overall, I really enjoyed this one. It kind of had been around in my collection, and you know, sometimes I'm in the mood for pineapple in summer, sometimes I'm not, but this was really nice, and if he brought it back, I'd get it again. And lastly, I finished Heirloom Orchard. I love the label on this one. It's just really pretty to me. The notes are apple, Bartlett pear, oakwood, and fig. This one was from Ulta last year, but they did bring this one back, and I did repurchase it. This one is your pear and apple scent. So it sort of has similarities to the Orchard apples when it's burning as far as the apple note, but instead of the melon and the apricot, you have pears, and it's just wonderful. To me, it's another one that's a perfect transitional scent from summer to fall. You get the crisp apple, but the pear really shines in this one, which I was a huge fan of because I love pear. Juicy and sweet, and there is something about it that gives it, like, I think it's the fig that's giving it a little bit of sort of this earthy aspect that makes you think that you're actually outside in an orchard versus just like biting into a pear or an apple. So I really enjoyed this one. It was also really strong. It was about an 8, 8.5. Really great as far as the burn. Look at that. Not much soot, burned itself out. This was another medium fast burner, so I think I did trim the tiny little mushroom tops. Again, don't over trim, but it was really fantastic, quite clean, not much wax left. I mean, you can't really ask for anything better than that. Really, really, really like this one. Glad it came back this year. If you like pear and apple scents, definitely recommend this one. Okie dokie, y'all, that is it. These are all of the mostly Homeworx candles and non-Bath & Body Works candles that I've burned over the past 2.5 months. Overall, really pleased with everything I've burned. Didn't really have any major issues. Homeworx is clearly a brand that I continue to purchase from. I would say it's my second favorite candle brand at this point. I'm sure it's obvious that Bath & Body Works is my first. I find that overall the scents are really wonderful and layered, and I have good performance from them. So, I mean, they work for me. Not every single candle is going to have perfect performance. Some are going to have some issues, but I wouldn't continue to purchase from a company that didn't work for me because that would just be like throwing my money away. And yes, I do purchase every single one of my own candles. So I do love the fact that you can get them from Ulta and QVC, and they're also some on Amazon. And I believe that there's going to be a website opening. I'm not sure how that's all going to work, but I'm pretty excited to have like several different options to pick up these candles because I really love them. I do. I mean, I think they work really well. They're sort of my go-to master bedroom candle at this point. Overall, a really great smelling last couple months. Super happy. Let me know in the comments below what you've been burning the last couple months. Let me know what you think about Homeworx, Yankee, Goose Creek. Kind of what is your non-Bath & Body Works go-to candle company? Like, do you tend to gravitate toward Homeworx or Yankee or Kringle or Goose Creek? I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you've been burning. I always like to hear your thoughts. If you watch this video in its entirety, leave me a fall emoji below. I mean, we're in the fall season, right? It's got to be something fall or Halloween. I know that some of you don't have time or like to do a whole long comment, but it is a nice, like, quick way to interact with you, and I like emojis. So, yeah. If you like this video or found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you like to see other videos like this, please subscribe. Thank you all so much for your patience. I know that I'm sort of playing with different formats for Empties videos. Thank you, as always, for all of your support, your comments and likes, and for subscribing. I greatly appreciate it, and Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye.